Hey folks, we're going to be talking about For Honor today. Welcome to the video and thank you for clicking on it. First of all, I'll just bring your attention to the video that is playing in the background as I talk. It is marked as March 2nd, 2017. This is not an endless loop or an edited loop. It is 9 minutes of me trying to connect to the servers that day. For Honor is an always online game. That means no connection to servers, no ability to play the game. After 9 minutes, I gave up to try again later. Due to that issue, I still wasn't able to play until about 3 p.m. the next day. For Honor is pretty infamous so far for its connection issues and that plague the game and still do. Most people have given up pretty much on the game due to the large amount of disconnects that just take your way out of the fight. Even to this day, there's still times where you're trying to finish up a mission or a order and then you get disconnected right on the last mission and you somehow get kicked and then it's failure to connect and that doesn't count. So it's still more of the same. Connection issues been beaten to death though. Everyone who's played the game's felt it. I'm here more to focus on the gameplay elements that are kind of haunting it at this point. I've played since the closed alpha. It got me really hyped for the game. It's kind of the reason why I loved it. It was fun. It was, as people called it, it's like rock, paper, scissors, but it's more deadly, which is fine. It's just now that the game has been out for so long, the game itself is terribly unbalanced. The gear system within For Honor is not as cosmetic. There are cosmetic options though, but those cost an ass load of steel. And it was the whole controversy earlier where they did the calculations and they were like, oh yeah, it'll take about 2 years of playing to be able to try to even get all of this, to get enough steel for all of the characters that are in the game right now to afford everything they have. So that pissed a bunch of people off. But the basics are, first of all, you have to get good gear for a character, you have to get to level 21, which means getting to first prestige and then getting, which is level 21, so first prestige. So the first level of prestige is level 21. So it's that. Call of Duty, everybody who plays Call of Duty knows about prestige. There are actually stats that are pretty much accompanied to all of the weapons and items that you wear in your character. The rarity gives you extremely large boosts when it comes to certain things. The strategy that is going around right now is every game you will probably run into Dominion. There's an assassin character, most likely a peacekeeper, who's level 108 gear, and if you hit them twice, they automatically go into revenge mode, and then they can two-shot you. Especially if you have like lower level gear. The whole thing is to build revenge mode, and then revenge mode. Initially, it was an equalizer to when you're getting jumped by multiple people. Then you can like revenge, and then you can like beat on them to come back. It was fun, and then now people and I've grown to fear because it went from an equalizer to the main weapon on how people beat others. 'Cause it's like if you get revenge mode right away, you're gonna win. Because it's like even if you're fighting one on one and the dude somehow gets it, it's just screwed. Especially the amount of boosts that it will give you on the attack position for an assassin, because that's all they build is like all revenge on the attack, and then it's like two shot on any character, no matter what your defense is. There's also microtransactions in here, and then people have already made this argument where it's sort of pay to play because you're able to, if you spend enough money in here, you get steel, and steel is able to scavenge items, and if you scavenge enough items, you'll eventually get there. You'll have to spend an ass load, but you'll still get the best gear, so it is kind of pay to win. And really early characters or just beginning people will just continually to get smacked around. So you can get the full on prestige weapons at level 1, and then it's only obvious it's like when people have where they're 1 prestige, level 108 gear. It's like, come on now, you threw money in to really get it. And then there's really there's really not much else with the game other than its like initial game modes, and people were like, okay, once you get to first prestige, then it's just grinding to like do other stuff. There's not really much else to do. Now they're clamoring for competitive mode, and they're sorely mistaken. That would just divide the player base into even smaller groups, and and the gear itself is already way unbalanced to even try to like make a competitive mode in there, because it's like you go in there and then you can't just have competitive mode be broken into, okay, competitive mode for people that are in these gear ranks, competitive mode for people that are in these gear ranks. Then you're breaking into smaller, and then if you go into competitive mode for this skill rank at this gear rank, then it's just you're too small, and you can't have a very generic one, because then you'd have people who have like level 30 gear versus 108, and then they're still getting trashed just because the gear is being the main thing to change the whole tide of battle, when it shouldn't be that. It should be how you play. So I'll bring up how, if you're a newcomer to the game, if it's hell. It's really hell, because you really have to. The only way to truly level a character, so to get better gear, you have to really get to prestige, and then you get there, and then so you get to like level 2 prestige, and then you get even better stuff easier. So the higher your prestige, the higher possibility that you'll get like rarer gear, unless you spend ass loads of money to just go for it. And then the most balanced game modes are brawls, in my opinion, and that's 1v1, 2v2. However, brawls do not give you the experience that Dominion and Elimination and Skirmish give. And grinding against bots does not get you anywhere. You have to play Dominion and Elimination. These can be the most broken and depleting game modes to play when you're a level 0 character just trying to level them for the mission. Then you're just getting totally two-shotted by peacekeepers or anybody with any gear level. It's a crappy feeling, as you can't even fight straight up fights. They just take you away. And then that's not even counting when it's like the massive amounts of ganks, but that's just the usual part of the game. But if you're getting ganked by 4 dudes who have level 108 gear and they have revenge mode triggering at the same time, and you finally get yours, but their revenge mode is so strong they shatter it, and then they shatter you next. It really takes away from it, especially when you just sit there and feel helpless as you get your face pounded in by like a 4-man pre-made as they run as a pack of wolves through the thing. It's just another day of For Honor. So yeah, there are Dominion games that you will get forced to join where it's like the score is 800 to 65. The score only goes to 1,000, folks, and that happens a lot. I've joined a lot. Those make my hair gray just thinking about those. Having to sit through the rest of those matches. My attitude towards the game is way different than what I thought on day one. The initial fun is really gone now that the revenge builds and like the massive numbers of assassins that instantly kill lower level people just take everything out of it. It's so extremely unbalanced, and it just works on it. And then if it's not that, it's the cheese. It's like the wardens and their endless amounts of like unblockable shield tackles and things. And of course you're able to dodge these and things if you're crafty enough, but that's just all people do. And then sometimes you just get tired of it and you just move on to another game that's balanced and doesn't make you feel like shit as you're playing it. So I felt this was another Ubisoft screw up. I've spoken to friends who think the same, because I've played with a friend who's played this and Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege had a very terrible start to its lifespan, with all sorts of bad things, and now the game has like risen from the ashes. They fixed all sorts of things. So hopefully in year 2, maybe For Honor will be better if it lasts that long. If it lasts that long, folks. So that's the end of the video. That's the end of me trying to connect in this video behind me, as you see. So, question for you folks: did you play For Honor? How long did you play it? Do you still play it? What are your reasons for leaving For Honor? Are you bored or frustrated with the game? Is the gear system broken? Do you have any ideas that can fix it? Do you think the nerfs that are coming are going to work? And did you hear about how the Peacekeeper was banned during this one tournament for For Honor? Wacky, huh? Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.